I'm Bob Hallmark in Longview today. I'm at White's Barbecue here off of Martin Luther King Boulevard. And if you haven't visited here, you might want to, by the way. I understand they have excellent food. But we're here on a history lesson. There's an effort here by the owner to try to save some property out here that has some historical value to it. And that's what brings us out here today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Audrey White, and I am the owner from the daughter of the owner. From 1952 was when this place was actually placed here.
Okay, so we do have a bit of history going on here. This has been here for a long time, and you've actually done a very good business here, but there's something else that you're trying to do at this point right now.
I'm trying to preserve, there's two buildings. One that is next door to me, and it's also on the same property. It was formerly a motel, a barbershop, and a record shop of all things. And what we're trying to do was, it needed a roof. That was the main part of it. But I had a little bit of a problem with the city of Longview, and I think I'm going to have to end up demolishing that structure within the next 2 weeks. It's kind of heartbreaking, but people in this area don't know what this street looks like without both buildings being here.
Now let's talk about the history of that building. You said that it was a barbershop and actually a couple of other things, but that's been in your family too for a long time, is that right?
Yes, sir. It has been here. The restaurant was moved here. The front part of it was moved here in 1952. My father built onto that and also built the motel back sometime in the late to mid 50s. A lot of the stars that could not stay anywhere else, they stayed here. Ray Charles, I remember him just as well as yesterday. I have already submitted an application to the Texas Historical Commission. On the 11th of November, I will find out more the results by February the 3rd. That building probably won't be here due to pressures by the city. The major part that caused attention, that attracted attention, was the roof. And I have had at least 25 people out here. They will say, "I'll be back," or they want half up front, or there's always something, because it's not a simple scrape the tiles off, the shingles off and lay new, it's not that simple. It has to be reconstructed. I cannot find anyone that is reasonable. I have even got the shingles donated by a roofing company in Tyler, by the way. But they're not donating labor. I'm just stuck. I don't have any, there's no other out at this point.
Okay. So the difficulty for you right now is finding a way to try to save the building, and you just don't have any options at this point. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. So now one of the things that makes this significant, this would have been during the 50s and 60s when segregation was, still happening here in Longview, and that's, to me, historically significant, because they had to come here to be able to have a place to stay, to have a place to eat. That, to me, is historically significant. And have you relayed that on to the Texas Historical Commission?
Yes, it is. There is a, 12 to 15 page document that's been submitted to them.
Unless you can, find the money to absolutely renovate this place,
yes,
you're really kind of stuck at this point.
That is correct. And I started out with trying to get donations. I'm not a person that asks for anything. My parents always gave. And now it's gotten to the point where I need something and nobody's there.
If you don't get some help at some point, and very quickly, the building will be gone.
Yes, that building will be gone.
It's something that's been in your family for a long time. It's something that obviously you've taken some pride in here. You've been very successful, I'm sure, over the years. This is something you would like to see. If people don't know what this is, maybe they should come out and take a look at it and get the story from you.
And I talk to people every day. I love telling my story. I'm not bashful about it. The wooden floors that are still here from when the front part was an old church that was moved here in 52. I've had 2 historians come in. They've looked at the wooden floors. They say that they even know what mill it came from, the wood came from. And they say that this building was actually constructed sometime between 1890 and 1920 because they stopped using these small planks and that type of wood. They looked at I don't know how they do it, but they did. And they said, well, so actually the front part of this building is over 100 years old. The back part, my dad built by hand with a saw and a hammer, and they are private dining rooms. That is very unique. Also, the front part, it was before Sonic, we had the first car hop service. The windows are still there. The window from the front where the drinks went through, the windows from the kitchen where my mom put the food through, and there's this little car hop room outside where they stood there and they looked through the windows and they saw the people come up. They would flash their lights if they wanted to come have the trays picked up. I mean, I'm really, really upset about it because this is my heritage. This is where I rode on my dad's shoulders at the age of 3. This is my home, and it's about to be taken away from me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and we will have much more on this story on KLTV 7 News. For KLTV WebXtra, I'm Bob Hallmark.